Okay, couple of things here. First, am I dropping frames? It looks like I'm not. Okay, so as soon as I started the stream, it was dropping like 60% of frames or something like that. And I saw this happen to someone else last night, so I immediately killed the stream and restarted it, changed servers, and gutted the bit rate to try and keep it from being terrible. So the stream quality at the home server side is going to look worse today. Um, Second thing, removing the HP 16500C was pulling the thread that unraveled the sweater because 3 to 4 years of cable mismanagement that was lurking behind it all came undone as I was trying to remove it. So yeah, that didn't work out. Okay, something's potentially broken. Okay, no, you guys just starting chatting. Okay, I was like, what else is broken? Because no one's chatting. So yeah, the whole all the I thought you were doing a home stream. No, I said if the internet worked fine yesterday, then we would do a stream here. So fighting the cable monster, yeah. Never manage cables, it doesn't work. Part of the problem was the lack of the cable managing because there were just cables on cables way down in there. Um, but yeah. So currently this camera is not connected because the HDMI stuff for that was all related. So that's not, we don't have that yet. So we're a ways away from actually doing the intended subject matter here. So yeah, no, we can't do cable management on stream because it's all related. The internet and stuff is all tied into everything over there. We can't, it's not possible. So that's why I was late because I had to get it up to usable circumstances here. So yeah, I was also going to attempt to put the ATEM up here. I even put a little printer tray so I could do that. Just literally none of the cables can reach. It's so frustrating because that would have been awesome. Oh, one easy trick, send me the 6500. Oh, 40 minutes. I don't really trust me. It is, yeah. So also, my end goals for today kind of changed, and I knew this was the case, but I wasn't 100% sure I was correct, but I was, unfortunately. So one of my hopes for the end of today isn't possible. So down here, there's what looks like a third scope card. It's not. This thing, not this. This is the frequency generator The 16500C kind of is dumb, and it's not meant to be an oscilloscope. And the way that it works is weird. So we have I'm just going to call them 31 scope cards, but they require a 30 time base card, and I forgot about that. Well, not really. I didn't think I forgot about it because I was looking on eBay and I was like, isn't there a cable that goes between one of these cards to the other? And I think I might have been misremembering that part because I think there might be. No, there is there. No, I guess there must be something that goes between the cards or something. I don't know. Because, yeah, we can't run a scope card without a timing card. So all of the logic, all the analog cards have to stay essentially in this chassis. I might be able to move them over to the B, but there's no point. It would just be functionally the same. The only reason I would move anything from this to the B is that I like the mouse and keyboard more on the B, but I could also just plug a better mouse and keyboard into this. So the SLI bridge, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's all not really gone how I expected today, but we're still going to do what I said. We're still going to practice the scopes because I just need to dedicate some time to that no matter what. So we're doing that regardless, and we're going to set some nonsense up when we do that. But I still am not done with the cable management because, like I said, we can't use that arm yet. There's still stuff everywhere that shouldn't be, like this is the Metcal tweezers that should go over here, but if I put that down, it's going to block in the power supply for my Nikon camera, which shouldn't be over here, so I got to move that. It's just all a mess. Where'd I put the camera bags? They're on the table. So yeah, bear with me for a few minutes while we put the sweater back together. Because this really did not go as I anticipated. You have a fire extinguisher in easy reach, which is always a good plan doing cable management. Yeah. Somehow, I never actually lost internet during this, despite the Pi and the router like falling down into the pit of despair back here. So if you can't like picture how this area is laid out, I got a table there, I got a table there, and I got a table there. And that means there are corners where the tables meet, and tables are square. So if you put one in all the way like that, then you've just lost all of the space that gets covered. So what I do is I leave an opening. So there's a like zone of void back in this corner. And stuff just kept falling in there while I was doing all the cable organizing. So I actually have this bench slid out more right now, and it's going to have to go back because it like pinches it off too much over there. So yeah, that's, it's just, I'm going to be going through these cables again in a moment because I'm not fully set up here. So let's just organize them to the, the storage floor. That's the thing about voids, yeah. So, what even is this? I guess a cable came in that from something, hopefully not something cool. So yeah, just give me a little bit here. I really, really was hoping to be able to get the ATEM off of here once it was clear how maddening this was going to be. Also, I may have destroyed the VGA output on the 16500C because I forgot about it being screwed in, and I thought I could just release it, and when I was pulling on it, the cable was also tighter than I thought. So we'll see what that looks like. It might be safe because it's a plastic case and it like strain relieved it somewhat. So we'll see. Ooh, oh man. This has already been a terrible day. I'm just putting the random little bits on the electronics bench because it already has random little bits on it. What even is this USB-B cable for? So another thing we got going today that somehow I didn't think about. I have the NTSC pattern generator down and available for this as well so that we can measure signals that are related to what I actually want to look at for this. So that will be handy. I also brought the RetroTink 4K here so that we can HDMI capture the signals in a way that isn't going to drive me insane since the Extron has such a hard time locking onto them. To be clear, also, we've seen the Extron when I'm trying to like plug in an Apple II or something to it, where it'll do the rainbow barf, and then if I'm recording on the ATEM, the bitrate goes so high that it like crashes. I have two Extron DVS510s that do that exact same thing. I'm wondering if I should try doing composite through the IN1606 because I think it can as well. So that would be. It'd be nice if that was more reliable. I am sorely tempted to remove a second logic card from this thing because I don't need that many channels. Obviously, Rainbow Barf is too powerful for recording technology. Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's what the raw frame buffer data in the Extron looks like without a video sync. And it just sends it. I don't know. It's so weird. So don't do Apple stuff? No. It's not Apple stuff. Anything. A Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, VCR, they all output, or they all don't sync well to the Extron. It's something wrong with the Extron. That's why I'm saying I should try and use the 1606 to see if it syncs better. Maybe they fixed it on later ones. So the DVS510 is really good for VGA, but it seems like it's horrible for everything else. All right, those are HDMI cables. I don't know why I'm putting them over there because I'm just going to need them again in a second anyway. What am I doing today? Ideally hooking signal generators up to oscilloscopes and learning how the oscilloscopes work. In practice, we're chucking cables on the floor. All right, that's a power supply, so it gets on the floor. This is a USB extension cable, so it goes on the floor. This is another power supply, so to the floor. HDMI splitter, actually I think we need that, so I'll put that over here. Network cable, floor. DVI cable, floor. PS2 keyboard there. Gonna be fun to pick back up. You say that, but we're about to pick up a bunch of it because yeah, I gotta do more video nonsense. So how many times it trips on cables? Cables all over all the time. I'm a master of not tripping on them. All right, this will be the first one that we keep out for actually plugging into this stuff. There was supposed to be another binder clip like this for this power strip. It was there earlier. Oh, here it is. I thought I used it. Apparently not. Okay. This morning's been a lot. Let me put this back. I got some new power strips for the office that have actually long cables on them, which is really nice because it makes it way easier to get them up onto the bench. So, Deck Rider video is pretty cool. Thank you. Speaking of Majenko will be along later. He had another stopping on his way home after leaving my place an hour ago. All right. Is it picking up the BLEP card from Jan? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Okay, SATA, SSD, dock goes on the ATEM. One of the network cables, like I said, we're going to be referring back to floor storage a lot. One of these goes to the ATEM and then to the router back here so that it is controllable from computers. Okay, and there we are. And in true Tech Tangents fashion, neither end of that Ethernet cable has a little clip on it anymore. Okay, never two of those type of electric desk typewriters even existed. So that one's kind of a really late one. The earlier ones are teletypes. It's kind of the ASR 33 that I think really made that form factor popular. All right, out of curiosity, is it fair to call the Deck Rider a teletype? Because I feel like it is, but it also feels like it's maybe too advanced, but I don't know, it's like exactly the same thing as a teletype. He's been laminated with me, took away mouse compost professor because he gave up resurrecting it. It's a teletype? All right, that's what I would think, but it just, that feels like a classification for like a particular echelon of hardware that isn't. Yeah, I get that. It's not a capital T teletype, yeah, because teletype is actually a brand as well. But I think that's the opposite of Xerox. I think teletypes existed and then the teletype company was formed. It's not like, paper copiers existed like that PC-10 from Canon I've got, and then Xerox, went back. Anyway, mostly current loop stuff, so it fits. Okay. That's clear. Okay, so we got a couple more problems to solve now. So over on the video capture computer, which I'm really thinking about pulling the Decklink Quad HD out of there, because the HD Vision 4 kind of can do what it can do, and I could actually use some 4K capable capture at home. I keep meaning to order the, what is it, HD 58 connectors with DVI ends on them so that I can try using it for HDMI input. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that because there's nothing here that's 4K capture. Anyway, the reason I was saying that, this camera for the Auto Publisher LS development was plugged into a splitter over there so that I could capture it independently and then run it into the ATEM, which is currently blank because there's nothing plugged into that input. So I'm thinking, well, I don't want to do that again right now. So this is the cable for that splitter, which is still over here and fully connected, but I just don't want to right now, so we're gonna not. So here is cable for the camera. Just gonna run this. You know what? I might be ready to push this back. Maybe I should do that first. Are those electronic typewriters so big? It was more that they didn't have to be small. They were selling you like really huge stuff. So, in general, I'm thinking I don't want to do that again right now. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. All right, let's push this back. Okay, I just want to make sure I don't break anything. All right, that's better. There we go. Okay. So many steps. So this I could plug in here for power, and then we can just verify that setup all works. Not that it shouldn't, but camera. Why is it black? Oh, why is the ISO 32 or 320? It was oh. I am actually surprised that didn't work. Oh, because that's loose. That's horrifying. Okay, there we go. Hey, cool. All right. Well, that's a start, but I don't want this plugged in over here. Okay. 32 ISO should be good enough for anybody. Yeah. All right. So one thing I had going was this extension cable, which is plugged it along or run alongside an HDMI cable for when I thought I was going to move this camera between different stations here, and then I realized, you know what, that shelf is junk storage. So that doesn't happen anymore. I think we did it a total of once. And I was like, you know what sucks? Moving that thing around. Let's not do that anymore. So let me retrieve this power cable and remove the HDMI cable from it. That is completely useless. And then we're going to implement another HDMI splitter, because the monitor you can't see. You can kind of see that it even exists right there. I have been splitting the video from the ATEM to that monitor so I could more clearly see what's going on, and that's extremely helpful, and I want to continue doing that. So 3D printer junk, I mean, we don't run the camera on there. Additionally, it's turned out to be a lot more convenient to use my phone for portable video stuff. So I'm just going to keep doing that, I think, and leave the other camera static. Okay. So power cables. This one is run like... Oh, you know what? That's long. I didn't even need to do this. This one's long enough as it is. I didn't realize that. Okay, well, I was going to have to do that at some point anyway. part of where this arm goes is it attaches to the electronics bench, not the work table, because the work table is more wobbly. And last thing this camera needs is more wobble. Okay. All right, so somebody thought it was really clever to put one of their longest HDMI cables permanently wrapped into this arm instead of buying another HDMI joiner and then using that. So now I got this long cable here. That was smart. I'm so glad I did that. I mean, somebody did that. Okay, so just kick that all off to the side. Okay, it's getting closer to usable. Yeah, wish this thing didn't weigh 300 pounds. Need a cable reel yeah, for pneumatic hoses. See, no, the secret is the pneumatic hose just sits on the ground too. In theory, I can hook this onto something so it can hang, but in practice, it never really works. It always just falls off. So I've kind of given up on hanging on stuff, and I kind of just drop it on the floor in front of the bench and try and kick it under the desk. That's, All right. We're getting close to having something useful. I'm just going to grab my phone really quick. Oh, man. Phone and coffee. All right. This is going to have to go over here when we're like set up because I don't want the camera having to go really far over to see the monitor. But for right now, I don't want it right there because it's going to be in the way and heavy. Okay. Where did that HDMI splitter go? Who dropped all the stuff on the floor? This is so inconvenient. Okay, pretty sure this is the power supply. As long as it's 5 volts, it's 5 volts. Okay. So that plugs in there. And then I need a short HDMI cable. I have one right here. Try the ceiling. I got you. There are lots and lots of cables along the ceiling. I think these have all loosened up a little too much here. Okay, that should be better. Ideally, this cable follows to the middle of the joint here, so it doesn't have to flex at all, but then it sags and that doesn't really work, so I have to adjust it. All right. I want this out of the way. All right. So I'm going to lose output for a second here because I'm going to plug HDMI splitter in. Can I really not do this? Hold on, maybe if I undo that, put it down. No? Well, that's just rude. There we go. Okay, now I can put it backwards. Okay. Hopefully the stream didn't crash because I unplugged the monitor. Nope, it's okay. Good. Okay, so then this needs a cable from here, which is going to, not that one, this one, this, okay. All right, you're gonna briefly lose stream. I'll try not to have too much fun without you, okay? All right, bye. All right, there we go. And now this can just, hold on, someone routed the cables poorly. That's better. Okay, that can just live back there. Okay, you know what? I want this cable not in the cable management. All right, bye, cable. You're free to fall on the floor in the void. I don't care anymore.
Spaukin says BSOS Blackstron of stream CHER 100. End of line.
Black stream. Thank you for the 100 bits, Spooky. Okay. So that's now there. I got keyboard here. Okay. I got full view up there. And if I move this to right there, then we have unobstructed view of stream, and I think we can actually start. Okay. That was a lot. All right. I think we're ready. Okay. Let me go grab a seat for once I get all this set up and then want to not have to move. Oh. All right. Let's go over our actual objectives for today now. Oh. I can't wait for the comment. Stream starts at 36 minutes. Oh, 30 minutes because I started late too. That's right. Okay. Today, just joining. Sounds like you didn't miss much. Nope. Oh, I just started. The timer's lying. This is the start. All right. This is an HP 16500C logic analysis system. Those are the words that are printed on it right there. Okay, but the thing is, you can buy an oscilloscope card for it, and you can do scopy proby type things that are analog, not just logic. I have this equipped with two double input, I forget exactly what megahertz range they are. Let's see if it has it printed on the back. 400 mega samples per second, so 200 megahertz inputs. 200 megahertz cards, which is really, really good for video signal analysis. This up here is a Tektronix TDS320, just a normal old oscilloscope. And today we're going to pit them against each other to see which one is the better general purpose oscilloscope. The main test signal sources that we're going to use today are going to be an HP 3325B frequency generator, signal generator, synthesizer function generator. Okay, that's going to be one of the tools that we use here. And the other one is going to be this Leader NTSC pattern generator 408. So this gives me simple arbitrary signals that we can measure to know that we have everything working, and we can do like frequency measurements directly on the signals and know exactly what we get. And then this will allow us to send more complicated signals that we can use to do deeper analysis to understand what exactly we're looking at. So the goal for today is to determine what oscilloscope goes home, because I got too many things that I need to do all over the place, and I need a video signal analyzing scope at home. So I gotta figure out what goes. Now, you'll notice in the background, there is an HP 16500B. That one currently only has logic analysis cards in it. I thought I could put one of the scope cards from this in there and then have two-channel scopes split, but it turns out they also require a timing card, and I only have one of those, so yep, can't do that. So there's the goals. All right. So that's what we're doing today. So first things first, let's just use the signal generator, and let's see what we can do with that. Now I'm going to tell you right up front, off the bat, this is the better oscilloscope. This is the one that's like actually an oscilloscope. Instantly, this has XY mode, that does not, because this is a signal analyzer. It can just do analog signals. So it's not really meant to do oscilloscope things. It's meant to do signal analysis, which is frankly closer to what I actually want for video signal analysis. So for that, it's really good, but for just general purpose scope stuff, that's going to be better. So this, yes, the thing that's actually sold as an oscilloscope will be better as an oscilloscope. Question of degree, yeah. So that's, yeah, one of the things we got going on. All right, let's fire this thing up. Actually, let's plug power into all the things. So I need three. Let's go grab 3 more power cables. Wait a minute, are there any in floor storage over here? Let's see. No. Okay, stupid, useless floor storage. Pfft. All right, 3 more power cables. All right, 1, 2, 3. Actually, one of them was really short. Let me grab a different one. There we go. Okay, now let me power up all the things at once. All right. Oh, that one's got a power cable built in. All right, I only needed 2 power cables. Whew. Also give scope a PhD and it'll still be a scope, yeah. All right, let's plug in the frequency generator. Now in theory, you're supposed to let this thing warm up with its 10 megahertz oven so that it can be like all fancy accurate and nonsense. I don't care today. That doesn't matter. We don't need that. All right, let's plug one into the 16500C. We're not going to fire that up quite yet because well, actually, I'll just plug in the mouse and keyboard while I'm at it here, and then we'll reposition it to something that makes a lot more sense. Did it just turn on? It did not turn on. Good. Why did the lights flicker? That's horrifying. Okay. Mouse and keyboard. Sometimes it doesn't like the mouse, and I'll have to turn it off and on again. So we'll see if we have to do that. All right. Okay. And then we have this. Magic smoke? No, I use all this stuff. It's fine. If anything here blows up, something went horrifically wrong. Starting to wonder if maybe I should, you know, I'm just gonna. I'm going to move all of this to a different circuit. It seems like one of them smart things. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to turn this one on because we're going to test this first. It's going to be easiest. Should have another one of those. Where'd it go? Fell on the floor because I had it plugged into the frequency generator. There it is. Fell on the floor and then I picked it back up. Okay. To prevent shorts between their grounds? No. Magic Smoke today's stream. Usagi had enough last. Ooh, that's rough. Did this not turn on? Okay. All right. So we're going to plug into this first, and then we'll figure out how we're going to use this thing, because this sucks. I want to do a quick, simple test here. Oil-filled motor cap. The ones I say you can't reform? That's spooky.
Schmide subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 34 months, currently on a 34-month streak. And says yay. Finger, no finger, no finger, no finger, finger, no finger, no more confused. End of line.
Schmide, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 34 months. I appreciate that. Percent P before the phone simulation? I don't think phone requires it. Keep in mind, please don't be super annoying with it. All right, signal out. I think we actually don't get a signal until I enable the output. I don't remember. We'll look at this. I don't have the manual for this yet. Dude, the manual for these is really hard to find. Let's see. Yeah, that's horrifying. Motor-filled cap. Went pooey. Okay, hold on. I want to get rid of the second channel. Channel 2. Waveform off. There we go. Okay, channel 1. Bring it down. Okay, I think we start out with an amplitude of 0. Tech manual, scope and TT live. Oh, I appreciate that. That will be helpful. I think I had it downloaded. I went this thing though, the frequency generator. What are we debugging? My knowledge of how these things work. All right, so we're gonna do amplitude, and we're gonna go up. Okay, we're gonna do 1 volt. Boom. Okay. So that is a scoping, and that's looking pretty good. So far, that makes sense. I understand what we have going on. It does thing. I go square wave, and then it's a square, and I go sawtooth, and it's a saw. Okay, that all makes perfect sense. Now let's hook it up to this. And this is where this is going to get a little wonky. You'll note I used a splitter. I'm going to hook it up to both at once. Because I just want the probes not involved in this. Oh, hey, we can calibrate the probes. Actually, we're probably going to probe at something here so that we can do that, because that would be kind of nice. If you remember, I measured a saw wave at some point with this, and it sucked, because the probes hadn't been impedance matched or whatever nonsense. And, yeah, that would be cool to do that. Don't mind me, I'm just doing a couple of other things here. I want this. And I want this. Okay. And then I want to blow my nose. One moment. Ugh. Stupid going live and immediately knows this is like, hey, you know, it'd be fun. Okay. Guessing both are in high Z, claiming it is that like it isn't a chaining it like that isn't a problem. We'll find out. Okay, here we go. Did I plug in the cable and then not run it from the back? Oh no, I just already plugged it in. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So it's an unreliable adjuster. All right. The PS2 keyboard passed the test, so that should actually show up here. That's handy and rare. Bidding at end of the transmission line needs to be 50 ohm terminated. Well, we'll find out.
Diet guitarist says the CHER 100s are going to phone up for GLaDOS right now.
Oh, wow.
The Spark stations you are trying to call do not love you. Please hang up. Command error in command 50,500. Command error in command 500. No. Command error in command 50,500 CHER 100. Now we sing la 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 la. End of line. End of time. End of life. By your command.
There's the cheer. Okay, so thank you for the 100 bits, Diego. Okay, offset, 0 volts. Let's just do repeat run. Okay. Oh, it's at microseconds timing. Okay. There we go. Hey, look, it's really hard to see. One moment. Display, connect dots on. There we go. Hey, oh, it's scoping. Alrighty. Okay. So that's kind of what I want to see. Now I want to compare the two. So we have the exact same signal going into both machines. Let's see what we can do with it. So up here, I want to measure the frequency. The frequency is currently 1,000 hertz. Pretty simple. I'm going to press the measure button here. We're going to measure frequency. And boom, 1 kilohertz. It just bang on, gets it right there. Perfect, super easy. Okay, let's see how we can do that down here with the super complicated one. So we can go to display, auto measure, frequency 1000. Okay, that actually worked. I swear that doesn't normally work. Okay, this is better. All right. So this is what I want to know and figure out. I wish I had a shorter chair because it kind of sucks not being able to see this at like an ergonomic height. All right, so we measure a particular input by selecting that over there. Okay. That makes sense. Volt peak to peak, 48 volts. Are we really at 48 volts? What? Can we not be? Amplitude? Are we really at... Channel 1 up here says that it's... Well, let's just measure. Not frequency. Let's go... peak to peak. It says 4.8. Okay, so we have a 10x thing going on over here that's wrong. Okay, so let's... How do we un-10x that? Let's go channel, probe. This should be 1 to 1. There we go. So now we go channel, auto measure, 4.8 volt peak to peak. Okay, that's a little weird because I set the amplitude to 1 volt over here. So I'm not exactly sure why it's 4.8. Huh, okay. Cool. Yeah, this is weird, man. Probably because you can get some like crazy isolation transformers for this. Generator expects you to terminate with 50 ohms. Okay, hold on. Didn't I get a terminator? Swear I bought terminators. Where'd they end up? I'll just have the ghetto one that I made, right? That would be awful. I assume this is 50 ohms. Check floor. No, it should be actually organized. Well, I'm just measuring my totally good Terminator over here. Yeah, 49.5 something. Okay, that one's good. Okay, so I split that again and then terminate it. But then I'm going to need another one. Dude, I swear I bought actual Terminators, though. Ah, there they are. Okay. Terminators. Okay, so...
GOGOGADGET 360S subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 24 months. And says I missed the choo-choo but it's still 2 years. Wait, just 2 years, not 22. It's 24 months though. You know what, never mind, just forget the whole thing. End of line.
There we go. That's still 4.8 though. Go Gadget, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 24 months. I appreciate that. Alright, you don't want it here, I get it. Just sucks dealing with stuff back here, stupid HP with its nonsense. It's also good to know because I'm gonna have to bring Terminators home, and I don't think I got a lot of them. Although I think I need 75 ohm ones for home. Okay, still 4.8. Okay, I'm gonna set the last device, or I'm gonna set this thing to output 2 volts in a second here. First, I'm gonna turn down the lights.
NDOGRAGON 90SIZHGER 100. Terminator requested. Sending in T800 by your command.
And I'm going to turn off this one light in particular that's shining directly into the camera. I'm going to rotate this one so I'm actually illuminated somehow. Alright, there we go. Ah. It's not the HP's fault. Blame physics for that? What are you talking about? This one shows 4.8 as well. Come on, take that off. Grab another Terminator. Put it right here. 2.24. Okay, that is better. Okay. And Neo Dragon, thank you for the 100 bits. VRMS and V peak to... Stupid math. Alright. Is there not a way to do what I'm trying to do here then? But that still doesn't explain the HP. Maybe if I unplug this? No, that's still 4.8. So what's going on with the HP then? Well, I can measure it on the scope. I don't know if I can measure it on the dummy scope here. So this to be clear,
Schneid
is
says CHER
joined,
100.
but
Streamer with one oscilloscope always know what voltage it is. Streamer with two never sure. By your command.
Schmide, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, straight joiner to the cables, okay. It says 4.8. Try use, what's the input termination? Am I supposed to know these things? Channel impedance 1 meg 50 ohm. Oh, knowing things 2.3. Okay, all right, okay, I see how it is. Y'all and your fancy knowing things. No, thank you, I do appreciate it, because this is exactly why every time I use these it is a super frustrating experience, because I don't realize these things going into there. Matter of fact, I should be taking notes. Anchor mode. Now I can remove the 50 ohms on the back. Now it says 2.38. Can I make a custom number for the input impedance? I mean, it feels like it's a... No, I got 1 meg. Okay.
Key acting notes 2 C sharps and an F flat. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Is that terminator working? The terminator was working, yes. So when it was set to 1 mega ohm, it was correctly squelching the signal. I'm going to call it. I think that's the wrong way to use squelch. It was terminating it, all right? What I was hoping for was a way of setting this to 75 ohms impedance for video. But it looks like I'm just going to have to buy 75 ohm terminators, which that works. We can do that. That first 50 ohm terminator was... What are you talking... Hold on. Okay. This is... Okay, hold on. Channel. Auto measure. Wait. No, it was working. It was working perfectly fine. Okay. Auto measure 2.38. This is using the internal terminator, okay? So this is the terminator of the 50 ohm, okay? This is direct connected. Now I'm going to change from 50 ohms impedance to 1 meg. Our peak to peak is going to change to 4.8. There we go, 4.88. Now I'm going to go install this, and it will drop down to 2.38. I think we just got mixed up. Too many things happened. And there we go. Exactly like I said, 2.38. Get in there, Terminator. What are you doing? You're making me look like an idiot in front of my friends. Yo, what? Why you know terminate? Okay, different 50 ohm terminator. Bro, why is the terminator bad? Well, that's just rude. Somebody put a hole in this terminator. Just so mean. Why would they do that? Oh, gosh, I hate it when people do that. Such a rude thing to do. How did that get mixed up? Wait, now I only have 3 of these. Oh, gosh. Okay, so that worked now. Stuttering? Let me go look. Yeah, we're dropping frames. Not too bad, but it's noticeable. By the way, fun fact, we're using 400 watts for this. We are doing literally nothing. Was that an open cal terminator? No, it was a security camera adapter. BNC to RCA. It just was shaped exactly the same as the Terminators, and I guess it got put in the wrong bag. Yeah, I made a space heater. There was something I was going to do back here. Oh yeah, I was going to remove the terminator since we don't need that. We'll just enable the inbuilt termination, though I am going to have to get some 75 ohm terminators, which kind of sucks, but whatever. CRTs are power hungry? That is a myth. CRTs are not that power hungry. All right, let me look at the back of this monitor. Okay. 1.5 amps. That is 150 watts of power. Those two monitors at that power are using the exact same amount of power as everything here. Why did this die? There we go. This is why triple net was never an option. Somebody gets commercial real estate. Maybe it's fair they shut my power off every night. All right. I'm going to try and put this back in between and see what we get up here. Is it just not impossible to measure 75 ohm terminators? Make sure you keep them well labeled and separate. They're going to live at home almost exclusively. So, but yeah, I might actually like paint the ends of them yellow or something so that I know they're for video. Okay, so this is 4.8 volt peak to peak. Okay, so if I do something stupid, you know, unlike all that other clever stuff I do. Oh wait, I have 4 of these. I must have 5. I wonder where the other one went. Okay, so if I do this, and I plug this in here, and then I do this, and then I do this, okay, that works. Is that allowed, or is that horrible? So, both of these, 2.24 and 2.3 something. Yeah, all looks good now? Is this legal? That's horrible? This is bad? Okay. Termination needs to be at each end of the run. I mean, it is. One run right there, and the other run goes off that way. Are you saying maybe, perhaps, I should add another cable from here to there to increase the length of the run? Replace all BNC terminators, BNC RCA adapters in the lab? That would be pretty good. Termination is at the end, not in the middle. I mean, it is the end of that one right there. No. I mean, it's working, so I don't know what you guys are complaining about. If you're not careful, all the packets will fall out. Good news, all our packets are just... What's the max frequency you're going to do? Wouldn't bother changing it. Oh, that's fair. About 100 megahertz, I want to say. It could be faster. We can test that a little bit right now. Let me get the leader up here. Unfortunately, this is meant for 75 ohm termination, which I can't really do, so we're just going to have to slum it with 50 ohm termination. Okay. Leader NTSC pattern generator. One moment, I need a monitor. By the way, just a CRT, power draw, 25 watts. It's, oh, there's one of the, nope, that's a RCA adapter. Let me get that out of here before it contaminates the other stuff. So we're going to be doing this, it's only 1 kilohertz. Try the same 1 gigahertz. I don't have anything that does 1 gigahertz, so I think we're okay. Actually, I have no idea what the top end is on the 3325. Okay, so we've got video output here. We're going to use this one because I'm going to run everything else from the back. And I'm going to put that to here. The monitor has 75 ohm termination built in because it's awesome. All right, last power cable going into service. 100 megahertz might be pushing with that tech. Might have to do one scope at a time. Okay, well, we'll find out. It's not the end of the world if this doesn't work. We'll just have to swap between them. This is me learning, just to be fair. I'm experimenting, seeing what we can get away with. That kind of stuff. Okay. On. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Boom. All right, I'm just going to turn this down because we don't... Why? Why beep? Wait, I'm not... Ooh, I got to really crank that to be able to see the other stuff. Contrast is also a little wonky. Let's go with that. Stop it. Why are you so mad? I don't think it's the knobs. I think it is actually that. Let me try the other input. I'll take it. Okay. Calls the authorities for copying that floppy, yeah. All right, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug it into the video output on the rear. All right. And we get nothing? Or are we just not even close to synced? We're probably not even close to synced. Okay, I'm just going to auto set on this, see what we get. That looks like video. Okay. So we should see like a descending line because we're going bright to dark. This does not have, well, it has auto scale. Let's see what that does. I mean, it's kind of right. How are we coupled? Oh, wait, 50. Go slope negative. What's my trigger level? Auto trig off. Mode. Immediate.
Kazuto NY subscribed with Prime. They've subscribed for 33
Edge.
months. End of line.
Are we frequency modulating? This is composite video. So we have a negative sync pulse and then color burst and then video data. Kazuto, thank you for the Prime sub and for 33 months. I appreciate that. Let's see, hardware though, pretty sure that software is... Okay. Let me finish setting this one up. So trigger. Where's the trigger level? Right there. Okay. Are we positive or negative slope? Hold on. Trigger menu. I would like slope negative, please. And now the other problem with this is that we're going to get some wonky stuff. Because every now and then we're going to get a blink, a vertical blink line. And yeah, that doesn't seem to be so happy. If I unplug this, it still doesn't really look thrilled. That actually looks kind of terrible. Yeah, so there's a BK Precision that I have at home. I forget exactly what it is. That has a video trigger mode, specifically. So you can look at a horizontal trace like this, and it works out really well. This is not that, but it might have it internally. I don't know. We're going to clear menu here. I should clear the measurements as well. Remove this, and this. There we go. It makes it behave quicker. All right. With your T open, it's going to be doing, man, this stuff is a stupid RF, so complicated. I want to give it the best shot possible, though. That still looks the same, though. It looks like garbage. Yeah, so it should not look this bad. Does waveform meant to look like? Yeah, it's a bit noisy. This looks fine over here, comparatively. I think this looks like garbage. I don't know why. And again, this is why I want to learn this. Yeah, there's no way it can be that noisy. That's horrible. Is this all the impedance stuff everyone's talking about? That is a thing. This is 50 ohm terminated, not 75 ohm, which is not exactly what this wants, but I would think it's in the ballpark. Dump the T, run the BNC directly into it. No real change. Try a different cable. This cable was working fine with other stuff a moment ago. All right. How about I try the one that's going to the monitor? I'm just going to direct connect it from that front port to the oscilloscope. Nope. Still looks terrible. The video monitor is terminating the signal correctly. Let's focus on this one for right now, because this is one of those learning things. So what am I not understanding here? Yeah, it could be the termination. I'm going to put the termination back. So this is 50 ohm terminator, not quite enough, but better than nothing. I don't like these T-splitters. I don't think that's the problem. Well, it's not the problem. It's a problem, but that's not the problem, because we're getting the same issue going directly into it. So different T-splitter, I mean, obviously. No change. Didn't know they did that. Yeah, really. Yeah. That's how you quick disconnect them. You know what's frustrating about that? I mean, you guys have literally no way of knowing this, but I just had one of the male ones do this too. This one is like that as well. In fairness to that one, though, I used this one hooked onto the modules on the Tech 7904 as a T-bar handle to rip the modules out, so I don't blame that one for failing. I didn't do that to this one, though. Try channel 2 on the scope. Hopefully channel 1's not dead. Channel 2 looks just as bad, though. I don't see the little arrow doohickey for the trigger point. Oh, it's still, it didn't change it. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, here we go. Channel 2 looks worse than Channel 1, if anything. Man, that almost looks okay right there. Dude, why are you not triggering? Slope. Descending. There we go. I mean, that actually looks pretty good. Why does it look awful? Do you have SigGen on color mode, but it's a mono monitor? Yes. But no, look at this. That looks great. And then I try to zoom in. And... well, hold on. And then I try to zoom in. And then... so, good. And then poo. Use the TV trigger setting? Right now I don't want to. I want to understand this. Why is it doing that? Those are V-blanks. Don't worry about that. Is it changing bandwidth? Maybe. Dude, it's so weird. Why? What if you center the horizontal position? I don't know how. Horizontal menu. Oh, okay. So it's the reticle's up there. So that's centered. And it still looks awful. Yeah, so it claims up here 100 megahertz, 500 megasamples per second. 100 megahertz should be able to show this reasonably well. So something is not working correctly here. Let's go through the options. So horizontal. We might be doing something weird where we are like averaging the signal, maybe? I don't know. Display. How about acquire? Okay. Sample. Envelope. No. Peak detect. No. Just sample. Averages. I mean, that looks good, but that's just because we're fixing it. So we don't really want that. Dots. I mean... Vector accumulate. Oh, that's kind of cool. Dot accumulate. Whoa! Dude, this thing's awesome. Capture rate could be a factor, though that's not necessarily bandwidth. Equivalent time sampling only works on periodic. Link scope switching from real-time sampling to equivalent time sampling. Okay, so equivalent time sampling is kind of what I was saying here, though. Like the averaging, right? Is that what you're saying? I think it's not doing that based on this. Sure, the signal source is quality, so it is a actual video pattern generator, and if we plug it into this, it looks fine. Perfect. This is weird. Well, the time sampling be like probing a tiny point a bit later on the next cycle. When you zoom, there are relays clicking. Yeah, but that kind of stuff happens all the time. Actually, it didn't click. That's just the knob. Yeah, it's just the knob. Macromedia copy protection. So we're doing real-time sampling. The real-time sampling is forward 10 samples, 500 megasamples, and 125 sequence. Let's go do equivalent time scaling. This is also a sort of signal. I mean, it would kind of work, like we can see with the average mode, I think, because that looks pretty good. That's about what I would expect. Got color bursts. We got the different levels. The levels are still a little, but yeah. When you zoom in, it switches between 2 and 5. I mean, yes. I don't know. Single acquisition? I mean, a single acquisition, it's still 5 megasamples, so. Delayed run. Can it be not delayed run? Intensified. Oh, is that showing signals that are repeating more completely? Like, you can't quite tell as much, but the line right there is brighter than all the other ones because I think the that's the trigger point, and that signal is a lot more stable since that's where it's triggering, so that's brighter. That's kind of cool. That's not what we want, but it's cool. Is it a sync issue? I don't know. Because again, if all I have to do is zoom out, we change our megasamples per second, and then it looks fine. Zoom in, it looks like garbage. Can you adjust the memory depth of... I was trying to find something like that in the horizontal menu, and I don't see anything. The overlaying is... This is a horizontal line of the video signal, and every now and then it's triggering on a V-blink horizontal line. So we're getting the black lines that are above and below the CRT. For giggles, let's take a moment and try it with just the HP. Let's just look at the HP only. So down here. This one's gonna take a bit because this thing is meh. Trigger, channel. Hold on. Yeah, that's a lot more like what I would want it to look like. That actually looks pretty darn good. Is there no marker where the trigger point is? I thought there was a little white arrow that would show up. I'm just going to set it negative till it doesn't work and then just click it up. Okay. Slope negative. Okay, I'm going to pop it up just one more. There we go. Okay. Delay. Yeah, that looks super good. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, that looks fantastic. So I think we should be able to auto measure. So we're seeing 3.5, 3.6 megahertz here. And then if we go over, okay, up a level, and then we zoom in, we got 3.5, 3.6. Okay, hold on. I thought we could measure the frequency of the bar. Maybe I'm wrong. 3.5. Let's go all the way to the end. This might be measuring the entire video signal. This may not be valid. Probably is. 3.5. Okay, yeah. So it's probably measuring the entire video signal. But this is a whole lot more helpful. It says markers off does also mean triggers off. No, it's triggering. The trigger line is this red line right here. And let me brighten it up just a little bit for you. So the red line right here is the trigger line. Thought to special procedures functions like a video signal on a scope. No, it depends on what you count as triggering. So we're triggering on a horizontal sync pulse right here. So we're seeing one video line. Every now and then we'll see some blank lines because we have the vertical blank lines that are sneaking in there. So we're not triggered on this correctly. Now, one of the reasons why I like this scope in particular for video signal syncing is we can take one of the logic probes and we can hook that to the horizontal sync and vertical sync pulse signals of a RGB-HV signal, and then we can like lock on to the whole thing. And we can do whatever we want. So that works out great. This kind of signal is a little harder to sync to as a result, though. So yeah, those are V-blanks right there. So it's syncing a little weird there. Doesn't have it special functions for video? I doubt it. I very, very highly doubt it. It is not meant for this. It is meant for just pure signal analysis. It just happens to be able to do video in this way. Okay, so this works great. The signal's clearly clean. We're not having any issues with it. That looks fantastic. I wish we could measure just this. I don't know how to measure just this. I wish I could like pick a range to have it measure. See what other trigger modes it has beyond edge. Mode, pattern, and immediate. So unless, I mean, that's a logic pattern. We can't trigger on that. I got no idea what immediate is. I think immediate is just whenever it feels like it. Basically, I think immediate is for you can like push a button to trigger this and your signal. So you'll like do it like a, like maybe even external triggering through software or something of a particular test is what that's probably for. No, I'm pretty sure immediate is instantaneous. So if we set it to immediate and then I stop it, the instant I press, if I set it to single, the instant I press run, it'll always immediately capture a signal. That's what that's for. It's meant for external triggering. So expect video to show up as a trigger mode if it has explicit support. Yeah. Again, this thing, logic analysis system, it's not meant to do like oscilloscope things. It is meant to be a multi-channel signal visualizer, analyzer kind of thing. But for multi-channel video, it's pretty good. And also single-channel video, it seems like. Man, I wish this was at home right now. So I have a video cable that has composite and S-video run in the same cable, and I'm getting weird, like, crosstalk, I think. And I want to, like, peek into the signal like this with composite and S-video overlaid and see if I can, like, see the crosstalk. That's what I want this for one of the reasons. Yeah, this looks fantastic. Okay, let's go back to the tech. Like, why is the tech not able to do this? So, plugging it in. I don't think we need to use channel in garbage. I mean, like, why? Math? We don't want any math. So, clear. Ref 1. Ref 2. I have no idea what those are. A 1010, I'm pretty sure immediate and repeat trigger mode means that it's always triggering after it triggers the last trigger. Like, as soon as it finishes acquisition, it starts the next trigger. What on earth did I do where... Oh, are we showing both traces? I think that's what happened. Waveform off. Wait, what? What is this, like... sub signal? Unplug the input. Set auto. See if you're capturing... See if you're capturing trash? I don't like that idea. Why do we have channel 1, waveform off, channel 2, waveform off? What? Oh, we got math channel on, waveform off. Okay, channel 2. There we go. Okay. You have one of your reference. Yeah, that was it. So you're saying do this? I mean, that looks fine, but I don't know. So then I'm going to plug this in. Blah, auto set. Again, that looks fine. And then zoom in, and it looks like garbage. It's got the trigger wrong, but whatever. Yeah, again, fine. Garbage. Pretty sure that's just for finding your midpoint reference for that channel. What I'm getting out of this is that I definitely cannot use this thing for video analysis at home, which is also scary because it means I can't use it for video analysis here. Maybe I have one scope that's good for video analysis, and it's a 16500C. I think I need more scope and time-based cards, which really sucks because they're very, very, very expensive. Like, I should actually just buy like a 4-channel modern scope. It might actually cost as much. As long as it's mixed with like other, like like 4 even logic probes would be enough. I don't understand why it switches when you zoom in. Hit bandwidth? I mean, what happens if I zoom in more? 10 megasamples per second? Like, if I don't understand. Why are these sample rates so bad? Yeah, the vertical noise is garbage. That's the whole problem. Like, there's nothing we can do. Bandwidth full, 20 megahertz. Man, that didn't change anything. Fine scale. I have no idea what that is. Oh, wait, we don't want that. No. Position. I mean, that's just this, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. Click it back one zoom level? What are you talking about? This? That's the whole problem, Philip. This looks fantastic. And then I zoom it in, and it looks like garbage. That's the whole mystery of this thing. Paul Guy, it can't be that. At least not from the signal, because we just looked at it with the one below here, and that's what it looked like on there. It looks perfect. Yeah, bandwidth limited to 20 made no difference. And also 20 megahertz bandwidth is useless. So even if it did work, I don't want it. Trigger set to rising edge. I mean, probably, but it doesn't really... That's just a leftover from the auto trigger. So if I set this down slope, now it's triggering on the negative slope of the sync pulse. Mode auto normal? No. Hold off? Set to min? No. Coupling, high frequency reject, low frequency reject. Oh god, I hate that. DC. Does a click from one zoom level look like on a square wave of the same frequency? I don't know how high I can go. Frequency. I do have megahertz. Let's try 2 megahertz. Eh? And then garbage. Hold on. 1 megahertz. 0.5 megahertz. 0.2 megahertz. Okay, so that's normal. So square wave. That looks good. And then click. So what's up with that? Scope's haunted. We're properly terminated and everything here. I just want to point that out. Like, this actual... This is the signal generator now, not the pattern generator. If you switch over IC inside, one channel is noisy. Ah, but you see, both channels are like that. Hold on, it's being cranky. Auto set. There we go. I mean, that looks better, but it still looks worse than... Yeah, perfect. Garbage. Oh yeah, triggering on channel 2, that'll do it. Why? Why is it so weird? Yeah, the GeForce, you could be right. It could be something wrong with the scope. I don't know. That zoom level path is noisy. Yeah, I'm wondering. Because if I set, like, let's say amplitude 5 volts, all right? Now if we scale it down, oh, that still looks terrible. What? Wait, what? I expected the noise floor to stay the same. It's not a dirty switch. They're not analog. So the noise floor scales. Noise is coming in after the attenuator somewhere. Okay, hear me out. What if? Yeah. Okay, it's not proximity to the 16500. Mentioned slow and fast modes. Maybe fast mode is broken. It's seeming like it. That's concerning. Biggles, can you set trigger mode to normal? Lower the trigger level until it stops triggering, then slowly raise level? Well, trigger mode... Auto to normal looks the same. And then level... That's stopping triggering, and that's going to garbage trigger on all the... Yeah, I mean, there's no difference. Lift off the HP and give it a smack? Turn the TV off? Nice stream, thank you. It's an internal issue in single path. Man, I'm gonna guess it doesn't look simple inside. I will say, I feel slightly less bad that it feels like every time I've used the scopes that they feel cursed. Because they are. BK, you know what? That just reminded me of something completely unrelated. I need to put my EEPROM reader in my bag to take home. Because I gotta read an EEPROM off of an Extron 300 matrix switcher to try and diagnose an issue that I think is dying EEPROMs. That only reminded me because I found other people with the same problem, and I'm wondering if it could be endemic. All right. Rising into the back porch. This is pure signal generator. This is 200 kilohertz on the signal generator. It's not, this is no longer video. Tech service manual scope recap. I don't think that it's going to be a recap issue. Reinstall DOS on the scope, yeah. I mean, I wonder if we just only use this for signals that are like above, I mean, 100 kilohertz or something? I don't know. I'd save NVRAM that was almost run out of battery, so I had to put on external 3-volt IV to move it to the program. Oh gosh. Sounds like you're ready to tackle some Capcom arcade machines. They have to recap my scope. That was because it stopped turning on. See, that's a little different. Power supply, I would be more inclined to mess with. Signal path? And I'm going to guess, BK, that the person who had the same issue did not get it resolved on Electronic Stack Exchange. And that everyone was just telling them to buy a new scope. I'm just going to guess. Who would have guessed using old stuff would lead to problems with the old stuff? Huh. What happens in ground mode? It just shows a flat line. Well, I mean, it's not completely flat. It's slightly noisy, but just not unexpected. Just scope bad. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Looks like identical fault consensus error is screwed. Try recapping because vintage caps. Yeah. Put the vid signal back in the scope and lower the trig level. Is it really? I really don't. I think it's just bad. I think that's the problem. So this is the video, which now it's like completely screwed as far as the trigger stuff. Hold on. Auto set. Do my homework. There we go. Better. Slope, negative. And then mode. I don't even know what the mode actually does. I think mode's fine. Whatever. Okay. And then lower the trig level. I mean, in noisy mode, I really don't think it's going to do anything. Yeah, it just loses it. And then it comes back haunted. Oh wait, DZX not here. That scope is bad. Man, that sucks! I don't like that answer. Problems obviously only happens to ADCs running at that, which could be bad decoupling caps. Yeah, but that would be like ceramic caps, wouldn't it? Like, I can't imagine that there are any electrolytics or even tantalums in the path at this rate. You don't have another scope in the office I can use? I mean, I do, and I've actually been thinking about just walking over here and grabbing it. What if we used that tech scope, but old? And you're like, but Shelby, that one is old. Oh no, this isn't old. This is fancy. This rotated scope, no working good. Story at 11. Yeah. What if scope, but old? Hey, hold on. I only have so many plugs. That's modern old. Yeah, the TDS, yes. Click. Okay. Hold on. We're going to use this. Is this the one with wonky channel stuff going on? I don't remember. Oh, darn. Old scope wins. Now we got some ringing. Ugh, so lame. Boo, ringing. Dude, I love this thing. 465 is fantastic. It's fantastic other than the clearly inherent issues that this one has somewhere inside. Even older tech to the rescue, yeah. So this is why it's weird that this one doesn't work. Because like this is not like a special high performance scope. This is effectively the like older version of this scope. It's an equivalent class. So this should be able to do anything this can. Might be the cable. It's the same cable. I just moved it from here to there. I'm not a happy camper right now. Let's go. Okay, hold on. X10 mag button. Here we go. All right. One moment. Why? This TV terminated 75 ohms. This has an internal 75 ohms terminator. Yes. I'm being confused. Just give me a second. Trying to remember how to do thing. Why thing no do. That's what I'm trying, older. But so I can't remember. Apparently, I don't remember how to start a sweep. Find leak electrolytics signal processing path 2. All right. Okay, hertz. Start. Why you know start? Unless maybe this is doing something weird? Like maybe channel 2's not coming through. I don't know. Ah, there we go. What's going on? Wait, channel 2 is also XY mode. Okay. There we go. The mod output. What's the amplitude? Oh, it's set to 10 volts on that? Well, that'll do it. Hold on. Volt. 1. There we go. But then we can have more fun here. So if I set this even slower... Even slower... Now we're having fun. Picking up signal from Vega. Now, in theory, we should be able to do this on this one too. But it has no clock. No, because this is no clock. This is literally a signal generator just straight up doing this. I can stop this and then restart it. Like it's just pure signal generator. Now, this can do this. This cannot, because this doesn't have a plot mode. It's just time base. Or it doesn't have XY, I should say. And I'm running this at low enough frequencies that that thing should be able to do it. You know what? I've never seen this do XY. I want to try it. So this was fun. Got that to, get it out, lubricate the oil, all that fun stuff. It's got its spring fire up. It's good. Exercise the electrons exactly. Used when I learned circularly juice figure played. Their loudspeaker makes an ooh noise. Oh, it's really weird. Yeah, it's a good sound. So I put the cable in the vinyl top because the feet have all disintegrated.
Is this the scope equivalent of an Italian tune-up? End of line.
Yes. Thank you for the 100 bits, Chloe. Come on. There we go. That's right. Handle can't be upright or it doesn't fit in the shelf. Okay, let's try this one. Unfortunately, it's... Ha! Probe inputs are all on the far side. So we'll put the mod one there, and then this is the front probe. Oh, it helps to plug it in if you want to be able to turn it on. Okay. I actually don't know how to get into XY mode on this. It may not do it. I might be wrong. Okay. Math? No, that's not XY. Waveform off. Coupling. Bandwidth. Utility. This is why dials greater than menus. Yeah, you just look at all the dials. Boom, there's what it does. I don't see a thing in utility. Display. Dots, vectors, readout options. Format. XY. There we go. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's not what I was expecting, but I like it. Okay. Now we got channel 1, channel 2. I don't know. It probably is the same. Okay. So channel 1, we're going to just set them both. I don't even know what's going on. Hold on, auto set. Okay, so that's something. And then you can see what the signals are. So it's just a slightly out of phase drifting signal. That's how you do this. Okay, display, format, XY. There we go. So now, I can't move it? Also like how when I change that, it leaves one behind. Can you not move? XY mode? Oh, there we go. Okay, then channel 1. Ah, there we are. Okay, but like, okay. Display, style, dots. I mean, it's already dots. Why am I not getting connecting lines? Maybe it can't do connected lines in XY mode. You have a circle and you can like it. I mean, it's pretty good. Channel 2 needs to be a little wider. No, that's wrong. Maybe channel 1 needs to be a little wider. That's better. Is there... Yeah, there is a... I'm in Dirty Monster mode, where we find scale. There we go. And we can go to channel 2, find scale. There we go, but I shouldn't, like, move this. There we are. And then we'll go back to display. And then just toggle this, because that clears it and doesn't leave behind garbage. Boom! There we are. Just didn't know what for. I mean, obviously this, but then you have to buy a signal generator too. It was, okay, it was really hard for me to nail down exactly what signal generator I wanted. Because I wanted this capability because, look, spinny circle, and there are not a lot of multi-output signal generators. Technically, this one isn't even multi-output, it just has a modulator. So you can directly output the mod source on the back. This is meant to be applied to the output, I believe. So yeah, it's a little weird. Just went outside, instead of acorns, got a gecko land on my head from above the door frame. Illicit Jacob's ladder? That's a little different. So, I want 436. I don't know if this one was still in vogue. Oh, man. Look at that one. That would be sweet. There we go. Tried and true HP 3325B. So, 1 microhertz to 21 megahertz signal bandwidth. And this was another requirement, HPIB. So, it's pretty difficult to find one that does all the things that I wanted that had HPIB. So one of the other things, not only is this dual output, okay, but it also has this other feature that they really don't even talk about that well. Where, yeah, they really bury the lead on it. Let me see if I can figure out where they even say it in here. Bingo. Currently hearing this in Curious Mark's voice, yeah. So, in addition to dual output, the other word I wanted was arbitrary. If you know, you know. But, over GPIB, and with this little button right there, you can program in I believe 1,000 steps of arbitrary data that runs at 10 kilohertz. I'd have to read through the manual again. But you can program whatever signal you want it to output. So, yeah, that was there were the two features I wanted. Dual output and ArbGen. And yeah, the ArbGen is impressive. I don't think it's going to say in the catalog. Where it is, by the way, is the 1994 HP catalog. I had to buy this thing. Dude, this went on eBay, okay? I wasn't even looking for these. It sold for $10. Like, I wasn't going to let this get thrown away because no one else bid on it for $10. Like, I gotta have that. 94 is also a lot later than all of my other test gear. I kind of try for late 80s, early 90s, because it's the same vibe, like this, okay? Or I shouldn't use the word vibe because that now has a different meaning. Let me go back to a different inappropriately used word. It has the same aesthetic, all right? The cosmetic details here, the 16500C is a little closer to this, but the B over there is a lot more what I'm going for. But anyway, this is a little newer, but it was the only one I could get that had all the features that I wanted. So, recreate WoW signal tube, question mark, profit, yeah. There are better DACs and Happy Meals. Well, I mean, of course. But, I mean, here's the dream, okay? This should be able to capture a waveform and then send it to this to be able to repeat, like directly measure a signal, like get the probe out, put it on a thing, measure it, run a script on here to send the ARB waveform to this, and then have this output it back. Someday, we're gonna do that. Today, because it's like, I gotta learn how to program this thing, which is wonky. So yeah, not immediately, but someday. Yeah, you gotta do that. I mean, isn't that like the dream? That would be so cool. It's literally just a cassette player, but it costs $50,000. I mean, how awesome is that? So, all right, what's not to like? All right, so this really didn't go how I thought it would today. All right. When does go like you thought? I mean, really? I guess, yeah. Let me ask this, all right? I'm not really looking to spend the money on it, but let's say I decided to, all right? And I'm gonna get a new scope, okay? That's like maybe not super janky. Should I go modern for like 300 megahertz? Because I think that's like the sweet spot for the entry level scopes. Or should I go slightly vintage and try and go like a 1 gigahertz 4-channel? Because I bet those two things are in about the same price range. Here's the other complication. I want it to kind of do what this does and also have just a little bit of logic input. Try to get a sponsored Keysight sponsorship, man. But then I got to show the badge all the time. And what if I like it and I want a second one? This is going to cost me like $20,000. I can't afford that. Proponent of 4-channel. Yeah, the benefit to the 4-channel is that then even if it doesn't have logic analysis, like you can kind of make up for it. Go modern, anything sort of modern, good specs, also cost the same as an actual modern one of the same specs. Sponsor bad? It's not sponsor bad, but they have stipulations. Show the badge really good. They send you a scope every year. Benefit the 4 channels, I have to bug you asking which line is yellow and which line is green. Get a second Keysight sponsorship. So email them from the Tech Tangents account and then email them from the Tech Tangents 2 account with a mustache. Is that what you're saying, to get 2 of them? So you can find a sponsor. That's the thing. I think I could, like not to like brag, I really think I could just get one, but it would come with stipulations. That's for the Bullard and curly mustache. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that that's what I want. Like, Modern One will have a lot of benefits, particularly for network control. I mean, do I need that? The Keysight one is worth it. Modern stuff in this office? I know, right? It's bad enough there's a Threadripper over there. Ugh. And water cooling. Should we do my streaming on a Socket 7? Perhaps what the requirements were first, then consider. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I said what the requirements were. It's literally just show the badge, as far as I'm aware. I am pretty sure it's that when you're showing output from it, you have to show that it came from a Keysight. I don't know if they have, like, screen cap. Like, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth if I'm getting one, but, like, I don't know. Threadripper's over 10 years old, acceptable. Vintage is, I was going to say vintage is 20 years old, but vintage is P4 and older. Like, it's just straight up, that's fixed point. Everything after that's identical, so it's nothing that can be vintage. It can just be old. How often have you had one and wish you could actually use it? See, all the time, but the problem is more that I didn't know how, but now I'm also wondering if I didn't know how and they were broken or weird. Because this one's weird. I think I went into this thinking that it would just be an oscilloscope, and it's not. It just straight up isn't. I think having the realization that it is a logic analyzer that can have analog signals is really key to understanding what this can do. And then this one, I really do appreciate this, Wesley. Like, I want to be very clear about that. And this still has use cases, but it appears to maybe have an issue that I don't know if I should attempt to fix or just leave it for low bandwidth stuff. You have screen cap to file, network screen cap, and VGA out as a module on mine. Don't know about others. Okay. I mean, I might be able to work with VGA out. There's a chance. So here's my thought. I will have to do, say, open to do a visual inspection. Leaky caps were very obvious. Here's what I think is going to happen. I'm going to open it. I'm going to see the most horrible, like, modern, like, I'm afraid it's going to look like what a multi-mode CRT. I've taken the side panels off of the Tech 465, and that was a never gonna happen repair. Like, if there was something wrong with it. And one of the two Tech 465s I have is a little fuzzy, and it could actually just be a power supply, but even at that, like, no. Good stream content anyway. This or, like, trying to work on that thing. Here's the thing. I'm concerned about trying to work on this and taking it from a low bandwidth scope to a no bandwidth scope. And I'm going to have to learn how to do a vector skull and crossbones. And by vector, I mean I put a post-it note on it and draw a little, X thing. So, made plenty of ASICs. Yeah. I just, no offense taken. Not like I ever use it. Anger, you giving it some life? Okay. Make it a Micro Center yet? Oh my God, no. I tried, and then the line, I'm not kidding, was like a quarter mile long, and I was like, bye! I'm not late. I'm not standing in that. Scott here. Will there be a video on the TechScope? No, that's not what we're doing. The idea was to learn how to use my oscilloscopes for video signal analysis. And it turns out this one has a potential issue that prevents it from looking at the fine details of video signals. So it's not really capable of it. This one will actually be fine for video signals, but that's literally all it's good for. Because it can't do other more complicated stuff. And it can't do some of the things that I really wanted. Oh, man, I need a modern scope. Oh, I don't want a modern scope. I need a modern scope. All right. Dang it. I thought of the feature I need that neither of these have. It's possible I could do it with this, but I don't know. Okay, let's look at this. 465 goes home because it has a handle. Yeah, but the 465 doesn't do frequency measurement. I need a number. Lots of decent cheap options depending on your needs. Yeah, that's the thing. And before I like email Keysight and look at the potential of doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh, like, how much is it worth it to me to give up, like, say, super modern features for a slightly like a different or older scope that I could pay, let's say, up to $500 for. You know, is it worth it to me to pay $500 and give up some features to not have to think about the requirements or not have to fulfill the requirements if I use the thing? It's like, I got to figure out that cost benefit analysis. You need modern extra scope money. Yeah. And then feel like spending on. I get that a lot. I fully understand that. Depends on what you're willing to work with, except losing. I mean, yes, that's what I gotta look at the look at all of it for that. Anyway, let's plug into the video generator here because I want to look at some stuff. Okay, here's the feature that I think I'm only gonna get on a modern scope. Super portable, 20 kilohertz bandwidth. You get to take a guess at everything. Oh no, 20 kilohertz bandwidth isn't even close to enough. Here's what I need. Okay, here's what I need that I don't have. I want to be able to zoom in right here, put up 2 markers right there, and have it measure the peak-to-peak frequency of that signal right there. I don't think I can do that on this. I'm kidding. That's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to look at a small range of signal and do that. I'm pretty sure like any reasonably competent modern scope could do that. But this, I don't think can. Maybe if I stop, maybe I can do some like post analysis. Measure markers on. Oh, hello. Wait a minute, hold on here. This might do what I want. Okay. So we have 2 lines. TDS should be able to, yeah, but the TDS doesn't work. Be able to use the time markers. Oh, so what you're saying is we pause and then we count or do some other thing. So yeah, so we set this one here, and then it is actually giving me a voltage measurement as I'm leaving it there. I don't know if maybe this could do some kind of fancy like round to peak. So like I know a modern scope would be able to do a thing where we get this near here, and what it will do is it'll go, okay, I know what you're trying to do. You want this up there, and it'll snap to the top. I don't think this can do that, but we can just zoom in and then put it there. And then what features matter the most to me? I don't really know. I got to figure it out. That's kind of what I'm saying. There are a bunch of features that I want it to have. Okay. So how do I measure the markers now. Snap wouldn't be there on the TDS. You can do an overall peak to peak. Well, it's not, the snap isn't necessarily what I was saying that the TDS can't do. What the TDS can't do is get a clean signal like this at this resolution because it has the bandwidth issues. What's weird is this thing should only be like 400 megahertz and this should, or mega samples per second, and this is 500, but this thing destroys this. So clearly there is something wrong with the TDS. Give you a direct readout time XO. Oh, X to O right there. Okay. So what you're saying is I gotta like count like 10 and then plop them there and then math. So trying to talk you into repairing the TDS. Yeah, I get that. But I really know what it's going to look like inside, and the answer is going to be no. Or just pop the cursor on adjacent peaks. Yeah. You want me to math? You're so mean. So... Well, I joke about the wanting to math, and then the fact is I actually want this to do other math. What I want is to be able to... Let me do this. Since we're apparently just going to use the front output on the scopes. So, over on the television, this is color bars. That's not what I want. I want something more like this, but I don't know what video sweep is. Whoa, that's cool. That one's cool too. Color doesn't really work a whole lot. Is that demarcation checkerboard? That's not bad. But I want this, but like per pixel. Obviously, for analog-y stuff like this, there's no pixel. But let's say this is what I'm trying to capture, okay? So let's go ahead and back over to here, and let's just run this once. All right? Or let it run for a bit, okay? So we see on our video signal down here, because we got a checkerboard going into this thing. We got sync pulse, color burst, and then giant chunky pixels. So let's say we stop this, okay?
Stooge says CHER 100 checkmate. End of line.
Jason, thank you for the 100 bits. It's like a little computer power supply backplane, some cards. Awkward thing is that the wires soldered between some of the cards, making them not easy to remove. So Matrox, what I am assuming the problem is on one of the ADC cards, and the ADC cards are going to look like they belong on something that goes into space. That's my problem. I don't think it's going to be power supply. Anyway, here's what I'm looking to do, okay? So we take the green signal and we align it to the front of the first pixel. We take this, we align it to the front of, let's just say, the second pixel right here, okay? We can see our time is 12 microseconds, okay? Then what I'll do is I want to take this, I'm going to put it to the front of the sync pulse, and I want to take this, put it to the front of the next sync pulse, boom. Then what I want to do is calculate the total number of pixels that you could have in that whole line based off of the sync pulse versus the pixel to pixel time. The reason that is necessary is when you are doing phase and sample rate calculations for video capture, you need this information to be able to set how many samples you need to take per horizontal line. So this kind of signal analysis is required if you don't just want to sit there with the remote or the web interface just pushing buttons until maybe it all snaps into place. So that's what I'm looking to do specifically, and why I need the actual readouts. So I would really like it if the scope itself could do that calculation, because me just like, you know, how you doing with the position of the markers is not going to be as accurate. And I can't do it with, say, can we even do this with it like running continuously? I can, but then it jitters all around because it's an imperfect trigger. So it is unlikely to be a built-in feature on anything. Well, I don't expect it to do the math, although I think I do actually think I could program this to do the math, but I don't want to. It measure times easily enough with the math. Yeah. So the math for how many pixels for the whole line, that I understand that's going to be on me. That's a very niche use case. With the symbol utility here, I suspect I could actually write a script. So what the symbol utility does is it allows you to write software on this and then run that. It's kind of ridiculous, but I'm not doing that because I have a life. Yeah. Is there a video trigger mode on this? No. No, we've been over that already. The trigger modes are trigger and no trigger, essentially. Because this is not a real oscilloscope. This is a logic analyzer that has analog channels. That would also be good stream content. I agree, I would like to do that. It would be easier to do the signal analysis into an arbitrary waveform on the signal generator first, and then look at the other stuff later. Could you not use Doomsday Duplicator and Custom Script to do that better? No. Well, I mean, no. The answer is no. Only because the Doomsday Duplicator is good for known signals and working with a static length of content. The reason for this is for, say, a video scaler, where we have an indeterminate amount of content that we need to be able to do. So, like, here's an example, all right? This exact device, I have a video output on, but the resolution is super wonky. It's like 358 by 251 or something. And the only way I know that is because someone else measured it with a scope. And now, it's not that I couldn't do that, but I could use something like this to measure that. And then I'm not looking to, in real time, use the Doomsday Duplicator to process that video data. And first off, Doomsday Duplicator can't do multi-channel. But I'm not looking to use something that can post-process the data. It needs to be able to process it in real time, which is where video scalers come in. But setting it up correctly to do it in real time per pixel to look perfect is really difficult. So that's where being able to analyze a signal like this is important. But so to what Ben, you were saying, no scope can do exactly what I want. Yeah, that I get. That's not going to happen. But I guarantee you, I could find a scope that will tell me, like with a snap, peak to peak or valley to valley, however you want to think about it, on the sync pulses there and then the per pixel rate there. Like I could figure that out, and then I could math the rest. Could you measure the scope output with the same scope? I could, but I don't have probes connected because we're just doing direct jack stuff today. That way I don't have to worry about probe nonsense. That's table stakes on modern scope. Yeah, exactly. So that would be the reason to get a modern scope. This can do it, it's just more work. So this is free, but kind of not great. Ah, man. Weird question. What would the buffer depth be like on a modern scope for something like this? So like I stop here, all right? I got a lot. Like I can really drill down in here because this thing has like configurable RAM or whatever, and I can just like get way up in there. Is this comparable to a modern scope? Like, could I capture like a whole video frame, just order it already? It's a lot more complicated than that. It's not like I have one in particular in mind. There's a lot to this. 100K, 1 million points at a guess? Okay, that's probably more than this. I don't know if this tells me, because it depends on how much RAM you put in it. Like, I actually don't know. had 10 meg, have gigapoints. Wow, memory depth varies a lot. Some are extra paid DLC options. Oh, fun. Is that like the Ryjals where you can just, unlock it with a little UART USB adapter? All right. So what this comes down to is whether or not I want to try and slum it with this. I keep forgetting Modern Scope's like 15 years old at this point. Yeah. Yeah, do I want to slum it with this or do I want something newer? But then this is this is only good for video signal analysis. This is it. It was the software to unlock it. Awful. Truly terrible. Yeah, so for actual scope stuff, I need a modern scope. And then for video signal analysis, it would probably be better with a modern scope, but I could use this. Ugh. You know what's really annoying? There aren't any good USB scopes. Like, I don't think at all. Like, I could do this with a USB scope. For video, at least, not the general purpose scope stuff. Or instead of messing with scopes, get stream ADC direct data directly into a PC. I mean, that's kind of why I was talking about the USB scope, but it requires the analysis. The software, the ADC isn't the whole thing. The post-analysis software. Like, if you just give me a CSV full of all the data points, that doesn't really help. When you're buying a scope, you're buying the software, really, because ADCs have been around for a long time. You're buying the software, you're buying the interface. That's what it is. Not to say, yeah, but they don't have really high analog bandwidth. Same Bundy buys you a good desktop scope, yeah. What was the top end on my Spectrum Analyzer? 40 megahertz? That's not great either. I love the low end, though, 20 hertz. Got her on best of luck making a choice. Yeah, well, it's not really making a choice. It's just I'm trying to push the limits of what I can do here and see where those limits are and what we can do. Make their own ADCs and capture ASICs. Yeah. Signal generator's doing something I didn't even know it could do. It's just blinking that. Like, it's going from dim to bright. I have no idea what that means, but it's doing it. So there are picoscopes that can do that. I assume not Bitscope. I think Bitscope's dead. That reminds me, I brought my Bitscope here because I don't even know where I put it. It's just e-waste at this point. That digit is in edit mode? So it is. All right, well. All right, if we... I think I did everything I wanted to here. So the frequency measurement is working for the overall frequency of the signal. Oh, the frequency is the frequency of the trigger. That's what, that's what that is. That's why it's 77 kilohertz. Yeah, that makes obviously perfect sense. Making the potential sponsor call. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at. Modern scope was not something that I was contemplating before today. Yeah, look at this Pico scope. Also, I love how I have Cherry point of sale keyboard for this and Cherry point of sale keyboard for that. Okay, let me look at this. What's with the fancy gold pads? There are a handful more digits in that price tag that I was looking for. And it looks like you would be a moron to buy the 2-channel. Wait. The probes are $500 each? Just close that tab. Well, I'm going to pull the TDS out of here right now because I think we did determine that we're not going to get anything out of that, unfortunately, for some of the applications. What do we... Man, I'm not even sure how to apply the TDS going forward now. Active probes is what the gold pads are for. Probes that are faster, not cheap. I like my garbage probes. Huh. I want to see, does this work? It does work. We want to look at possible modern scopes. Wow, even the webcam's working. Crazy. Let me shut all this off. So I'm not contributing 400 watts of heat. Oh, Philip, that TV scope XY mode is awesome. Okay. Okay, oscilloscope. So, generic Rigol. Rigol. How do you pronounce that? Super phosphor. It's got a CRT. Oh, I hate the Google shopping so much. No. Why is this not web links? Hello, Bajanko. Apparently all of my old oscilloscopes suck. Who would have guessed? Say the same as Regal. I don't know if that's correct. All right. So Siglin. Actually, let's try this. Sigrock. If I'm getting a modern scope, I would like it to be compatible with this. This might also be like buying a computer based on how well it works with Linux and where I'm just going to get garbage. But let's see. So Rigol DS100. Okay, so we can get gigasamples, sample rate, bandwidth. Ugh, gross. Roden Schwartz, that looks expensive. Why is it supported but not like shown? Okay. Sigrock Project is pretty dead. They don't even update their drivers. I did not know that. I have never had a device that works with it. Well, that's not necessarily true. I do, but it's the like DMMs, so it's not that useful. Wouldn't bet on Sigrock. Is there a replacement for Sigrock, or did people just stop doing science? Scopes listed there are quite old. Yeah. Garbage. I mean, it's not garbage. It's just not like gonna be good enough. Well, if Sigrock's dead, that would explain a lot. I've kept trying to use Sigrock to like decide what I wanted to get. Let's see. Recent changes. User deletion. Oh my gosh. So I know what that is. Someone bought cold. Website was offline for a month earlier this year. Oh gosh. All right. Well, then we won't use that. Okay. Handtech. Wow, that's cheap. 100 megahertz. That sucks. Okay. 100 megahertz. 200 kilohertz. Yeah, that better be 30 bucks. I should actually get something like this though. Just to have like a pure floating one. Okay, I like this one because it's beige. 200 megahertz. Portable, yeah. I'm not buying anything today, no matter what. There is no way I would buy anything today. Unless I looked on eBay and there was like an HP 10 gigahertz scope with 4 channels input and a 32 channel like pod port on the front and it's listed for $10. Buy it now. That would be the only way I'd be buying a thing today. Actually, I joke. I probably would see that and then think if it can go up to 10 gigahertz, it probably means it can't do what I want at lower frequencies. Dude, look at all that crazy stuff they're doing. Like there's so much math going on there. That's an FFT, I bet, right there. Like yeah, so they're probably merging the two of them. Yeah. Actually, so this is why I was asking. How common is it for modern scopes to be able to do like light spectrum analysis like that? Because one thing I was considering was for a modern scope, like specifically for the video crosstalk that I want to be able to measure. If I do I might be able to subtract the signals and then FFT it to maybe like directly see the stuff. Every scope can do it. Almost scopes can do FFTs. Okay. So my idea of oscilloscopes is really 2 decades old. If even. Building like the last 15 years. Okay. All right. Hmm. And the rest, yeah. So this is just like a generic search to like see what maybe mortals buy. Okay, I didn't know Korg made one. That's hilarious. Build your own oscilloscope kit. Okay, I bet that one doesn't do FFTs. By your scope of choice, then spend 43 streams reverse engineering the USB protocol for it. So, Majenko, you weren't here for this earlier. The reality is I'm probably going to reach out to Keysight to see if I can get a sponsored one. What do they have? Look at Siglent. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Didn't I look at one here? Yeah, no, Siglent. Ooh, black, fancy. See, this makes it feel like this is like super fancy new scope, but that's just because the Keysight ones only turned black recently. Okay, so for 450, that can't be right. That it literally can't be right. I don't speak Japanese, unfortunately. I'm gonna guess that this just says is very good scope. Ooh, so it does have logic stuff. Okay, I like that. It really can't be 70 megahertz bandwidth. That's garbage. Like straight up, it just can't. For 450, it can't be. 2 gigasamples per second. There's no way it's 70 megahertz. Logic stuff will be DLC. Delightful. DSO, just for they gave me a for free. They'll certainly give you one with minor commitments. Wavemaster. Oh, this is Keysight. Okay. We'll look at that later. 70 real megahertz. What? How is it only 70 megahertz? Is it like the best 70 megahertz you've ever seen? I mean, Raspberry, it's not going to be it's not going to be attainable. Yeah, software limited. So is this going to be like something where a year from now someone cracks it, then suddenly it's a 1 gigahertz scope? I mean, it looks like I see here there are two of them. There's a 100 megahertz and a 70 megahertz. Like at what was it? 2 gigasamples per second ADC. It's already cracked. Okay, so what's like the real maximum this can do? 200? Like even that's like a 10 times oversample? Sample rate might be shared between all channels. That's awful. That's also how the analog scope works, though. I assume this is one of those things where it's DLC to make it not suck. Like, I almost find it offensive that they even sell a 70 megahertz one. Well, if it's shared and there's 4 inputs, then I kind of get it. A built-in web server lets you view and control the scope using a web browser. You can easily scroll. Oh man, if that's possible, I don't care about video capture. Yeah, that would be totally fine with me. Yeah, I would be A-okay with that. So $300, 100 megahertz bandwidth. That's actually this isn't bad. Okay, am I crazy? Oh, it's because this isn't a private window. That's why I can't put it in there. Hold on. Linux compatible DS view. Okay, so I was just looking at SIGROC, which is apparently RIP SIGROC. I have no idea what DS view. Dream Source. Okay, it's their own thing. So 2-channel, no logic inputs. It is SIGROC. Oh, so it's just rebadged SIGROC then. Yeah, lacking digital channels and only being 2 input kind of hurts. There might be other options though. Hmm. I'm not completely against this for video signal analysis. So I have 2 use cases. One, general purpose scope here at the office, which I apparently just don't have one. 2, the video signal analysis scope, which I would prefer to be a USB scope like this because I could just mount it in the rack and then have it hooked up and never think about it again. That's what I would prefer. Because I don't really want like a whole tabletop scope for video signal analysis if I don't have to. Look at the Keysight stuff. Yeah. So oscilloscopes, man, they're like laying on the ground looking up at the bumper of the car angle view makes me think expensive. And also the part where it says Keysight makes me think expensive. Ooh, Beige Scope still hanging out. Doing, I don't even know what. Which oscilloscope probe do you mean? I mean, this one looks like it's a magic probe. View all oscilloscopes, okay. Has Ethernet for remote capture control or something. Okay, 200 megahertz. So that's 4-channel with bonus ports. Are these like all the same and then they just like put in whatever knobs or whatever? Probably. There's another set. I can't even fathom paying $3,000 to get a 70 megahertz scope. Like, what? I mean, that one's worse. I'm not even going to click into that. Get used from eBay. I mean, that's at best going to be half. Yeah, these are just going to be the stupid ones. $100,000 scope. Yeah. Why do they have 228 oscilloscopes for sale? What'd I break? Nothing. Well, I mean, the tech scope that Wesley gave me was gone. And you missed me being able to make a Came Back Haunted reference. Some people don't know what they're selling and sell stuff really cheap. I mean, that does happen. That's how I got the deck writer for 30 bucks. That was what I paid for it. Might want to sort by price. Price, they don't let you. I can sort by maximum price. I don't like that the minimum is $500. Maximum price. I'm going to set it to 5-ish. I'll check a copy of a copy when it goes on demand. Yeah. Wrong brand for sorting by price. Yeah. Built-in waveform generator? No, fair. It's all in one unit. You can just press button record and then press button output. Oh my god, it's 50 megahertz. At least they don't call for offer anymore, yeah. Okay, so like genuinely, why are they all so low in frequency? Is it just because no one does like mid-range analog stuff anymore? And that it doesn't matter? You're either doing gigahertz or nothing? Suspect that's the reason? I mean, it's gotta be. We'll look at the 6 more here, yeah. Go over that, start to need active probes. No, it's just a low frequency ones because it's limited the price. I know, but like, I don't feel that it's reasonable that in 2025 that you can spend $5,000 on a 70 megahertz scope. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why there is a configuration for that that even exists. Zero ohms, it looks like everyone does. Most people don't need more than 100 megahertz bandwidth. I know, but so it's there. It's just completely screwing them. That's it. It's just completely screwing them. Education. So completely screwing the taxpayers. Got it. The scoped pixels. I feel like if anyone should have. Scoping pixels is exactly what I want to be able to do too. Same hardware as a faster one that you can software update. Okay, let's look at this. $2,000 get quote. I don't want a quote. You have the price. Quick view? Where is the real view? How do I, why is there's got to be, how do I go to the actual web page? I know they have a real web page. Why does this not link to it? Okay, hold on. So, highlights, accessories, see related software. Because I assume. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is actual software though. It's only dual channel. This wasn't. This was just to. I wanted to be able to see what the upgrade path looks like. That's all I want to know. I just want to know what like view options and upgrades. That's it. What frequency am I looking for? I think at minimum 200 megahertz. So DZX, to give you just like a step back here. I'm looking at trying to do video signal analysis, but which requires megahertz scale signaling, but I need it to be like 100 to 200 megahertz at minimum, and then I also need a general purpose oscilloscope for the office because I apparently just don't have one that's modern. But this is an older model you're looking at. I mean, I did figure that based on the beige. Upgrades. Upgrade 70 to 100. 100. Oh, okay. So you can't go from 70 to 200. They got to get you twice. And it's $500. It's a quarter of the cost. And you can't just do it. Okay. Okay. So 200. Let's just, for kicks. So it's 500 megahertz. Apparently, like, I would say worth more in my car, but the car's only worth how much gas is in it. Okay, I don't get this. Located in China. Dude, there's so much, like, slightly old and still useful tech stuff in China. It's like oscilloscope stuff. It's crazy. Actually, I gotta restrict this even more. Load of highs. Well, only 4 results? So this is 3.6K new versus, I mean, maybe a grand oboe. What is it? Hold on. So Handtech is fine. Yeah, so here's the thing, DJ. I might be able to just ask Keysight for one. But I'm also just trying to understand because it's like weird. It's a bit of an obscure model. I love how like I can't do this right no matter what. Okay, so this is what Desiac linked. So 2 gig of sample, 25 megahertz ARP-Gen. I don't know what the downside is to this one. I mean, it doesn't have the logic inputs, which I do need for video stuff. And being only 2-channel kind of sucks. I would prefer 4-channel with logic. What's 2 plus 1? Is there a trigger channel? Yeah, screw that. That doesn't count. You know, it's funny. I don't count the trigger as a channel, but it shouldn't be 5.1 when you have a like subwoofer channel. That's a full-on analog channel. This is a low-pass filter. Most of the series are 4-channel. Okay, so is it going to be like this one? Is that what I make 4 for 4-channel? No, it's the last number. Heard lots around with that price in general, right? Yeah, so I don't know. That's part of what I'm trying to make the determination of here, Desiac. Do I want to sell my soul to Agilent, Keysight, and have stipulations on this kind of stuff, or do I want to buy one? Also, let me put this out there, okay? Let's say, yeah, 900 for this versus 300 for this. I'm getting more than 3 times the oscilloscope for that money. This is a better deal. Trigger can't be on the screen. Well, that's why I'm saying it's not really a channel. That's it, yeah, it doesn't count. This is a better deal than this. Like, that actually seems like a pretty nice one. Yeah, but I'm HP fanboy, so like in one cart. Oh no, I better buy it. Oh no. It's like, is there a way of knowing why is it not booting? Did they just take all their pictures too quickly? Well, the button's turned off, so it's probably some kind of initialization process. You got a pocket. Oh, that's where you put the probes and stuff. I genuinely didn't even know they had the storage part. 4 parts not working. Device turns on but does not log in. Okay. Why is it $800 for the plastic? Parts only. Drat. Firmware dead? Yeah, I don't really want to get into that. Okay, hold on. We got a US only because I'm not paying a tariff on this. Or subscription modules for the scope. That's the thing. It sometimes get you price wise. Oh yeah, no, none of that's acceptable. Like, someone had a full video modern Rigol scope booting over a minute. Oh my gosh. I mean, they are just computers. Like, the scopes that are high end that would come out, like there's probably some in that 94 catalog that I showed earlier that just straight up boot Windows. So they're whole computers. Parts only, parts. Okay, how about we have some that are working instead of ones you guys killed? Good grief, how do you have like so many that are just like trashed? Condition, used. They're all used. Why don't you sort by... I mean, it's probably not Windows on these ones. They probably developed their own embedded OS, but they 100% have sold scopes that run Windows. Guaranteed. Windows CE embedded license sticker. There you go. London printing Windows 98, yeah. Ride all shipped in. I don't know. Okay. Man. Okay. So you know, I really don't feel bad about all my vintage scope stuff because I've gotten everything that I've paid for less than the cost of one of these. So like I really haven't done bad. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of quagmire with shopping for an oscilloscope. Seems a lot like trying to shop for a computer in the mid range. Like this maybe isn't actually that bad. So 4 channel, 250, got probamajiggers. I think I just killed a mosquito. Cool. That's a lot more my speed there. Hellcroft. So 450. Keysight 500, 4 channel. Doesn't have logic analyzer, it looks like. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hold on a minute here. Wait, is it just straight up a computer? Okay, so that runs Windows. No, that's not a floppy drive. That's not a floppy drive. That's an LS120 drive. That's magneto-optical. I almost want it for that. Like, yeah, it's a scope or whatever, but LS120 drive. Have that scope would assemble after 64. That's incredible. I love it. Oh, man. As much as my heart yearns for this, I really think I shouldn't go for that. Old one, you know that an LS120 drive uses a laser on the back to do hard sectoring so that it knows where to read the magnetic data. It's not pure floppy. Should do the soul selling? Oh, yeah, probably. I really don't want to. Ooh, what's this? I need that, but wider. But that fulfills a different niche. We'll trade kidneys for oscilloscope. You don't need both of them. There's a reason they give you two. Still far from Otterscope. May have. Yeah, Wizard Tim has a point. The whole reason we're looking is because the old scope has issues. G-Pin, I don't know. Being used more often as floppies. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it probably had like 90% 144s in it. DIY dialysis machine replaces second kidney. Buying a scope. Compatible with Sigrok is really great. So yeah, MB, we looked at Sigrok and it looked like it wasn't so hot right now. Like the project's kind of dead. So is that one like hackable, Hellencroft? To not be 500 megahertz anymore? Or 50 megahertz? Because 50 kind of sucks. Don't know? All right. I would not buy this one specifically because of this photo that I'm pretty sure that's how they're going to ship it. This would be a do not buy. That thing is going to be destroyed when you get it. That screen is going to be cracked. Like, I wish people would show a picture of how they're going to pack the item more often. And in this case, it's like, oh, actually, no thanks, I'm good. Yeah, so I'm going to have to... expect no resolution on this for a long time. I'm going to say that because I got to think about it. Like, even if I saw this scope right now for 200 bucks, I wouldn't necessarily buy it because I don't know. Use a scope that hooks up to the PC. Yeah, so that's an option. What I want though requires really high performance analog stuff. Well, I mean, it's not even the price. The price hurts a lot, but it's trying to find what makes the most sense. I have to define the scope, but of what I want in an oscilloscope. Wiggles, lots of wiggles. Yeah. Just keep saying, get them the scope to trial, then choose. I. That's the thing. They could probably just give me one because YouTuber. They like doing that. That's the only reason I'm saying that is that they do that a lot. And I might be slightly HP biased. At least looking inside the tech, you might be surprised. Okay, hold on. Tektronix. Hold on, let's just Tektronix. Oscilloscope repair. I want you guys to see how bad this is going to be inside. All right, let's look for a like relatively comparable age scope. TDS 360. Very similar. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a trick. We're gonna skip the ads without watching them. This is not an ad blocker. There's nothing I'm doing. There's no plugins installed. You can just not watch the ads. Wait, was his power button broken? That's not a repair. That's cheating. That looks like another similar one. Mr. Carlson's lab will probably actually open it. Ah, see, here's the trick. If it starts playing at all, you have to watch it. So because I was playing the last video, now I have to get through this. Have premium, are you a bad person? No, but premium's fine. Do whatever you want. Okay. Let's look at the... Yeah, here we go. Wait, why are there... Yeah, there's like ISA slots in there? I don't like that. That looks too simple. Oh, because he took them all out. Wait, this one's like... Does this have a backplane? Is this like a far more fancy one than mine? Yeah, that one's got... That one actually is a computer inside. This one is not. All right, let's just try TDS 320. Maybe someone's actually had to repair it. Okay. Wait, is this the power button again? Won't power on. Oh my gosh, you guys with your dirty power buttons. How? That's the kind of horrifying thing. No, that's not even it. That's not real. That is not on a TDS 320. I refuse to believe that that is in a TDS 320. Look at this idiot. I bet he never even fixed that thing. Stupid Blocks logo. TDS, I don't know. Nice thing about the Tektronix scopes is the options aren't just I scored CE prompts got dumped, so you can make your... The options are just, oh, you can make your own upgrade modules. That's cool. Cannot interact with the player while ads are playing? I don't know. Maybe someday. Nothing wrong with looking inside? No, there is. I don't want to. Dude, is this guy playing Sim City on his? Oh, because that's the other higher end one. So that one's actually a computer inside. That's insane that it's like the exact same front panel, but so different. Oh no, that's like a photo. I thought it was Sim City. It's just a picture of it. So because the fans didn't spin, the issue is the silent switch was on. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I've definitely had scores like that. So I don't even remember them at this point. It's been too many. Yeah. Yeah, we're not seeing anything about... Just for the record, we're not seeing anyone repairing, like, analog modules. Power supply, encoders. Ooh, service manual. Okay, this might work. So it's only 125. I would rather get my 503 working. I mean, maybe that other person would like to get their 503 working. What on earth is that giant tan cylinder it comes with? Oh my gosh, it's got a Spockoscope add-on. You can look in the tube. Oh, is that what that is? Oh my gosh, this thing's kind of incredible. Oh, that thing rocks. Where is it? I don't need to know. It's in Pennsylvania. It's too far. No schematic? I don't want a schematic. I just want a teardown. That shows, like, here's the no zone. Oh, wait. Mine does have cards. That's right. GPIB is a card. Okay, so this, that 460 or whatever we were looking at, it's actually probably comparable. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Let's bring that back. Not this. No one wants that. Great. Now I'm not going to be able to... There we go. Hold on. It was Mr. Carlson's lab, right? Is it the... Yeah, I think it was this. Hold on. Let's definitely totally watch these ads. Control H, I'm in private browsing. Because I didn't want to be logged into eBay. Okay, yeah. So, bajillion cards. Yeah, this is exactly what I don't want to deal with. So these are the ADC cards, all right? Down here. I mean, maybe not that one. That one looks like it might be an input, but I bet there's ADC cards on there. So yeah, I don't want to deal with this kind of stuff. Like, this is where... Stupid ads. This is where the problems probably are on something like this. ADC's on the main board? All right, then let's see where we can get to the main board. Because it seems like he does a full teardown on this thing. Where's the main board? Is that on the bottom? Because I would think the ADCs would be modules. That way they can do 2 or 4 channel pretty easily. I mean, that's power supplied CRT stuff. Yeah, that's nothing. But again, I'm telling you, is not... It's got to be this thing in the back that we can't see. So I guess it's that. So it's all of this leading up to there, and then little tiny ones going in. There's nothing there that we're going to be able to work on or diagnose easily. I guarantee it. Propaka solenoid, I don't think you understand the complexity difference between a bit of wire wrapped around some plastic and an oscilloscope. Like, that solenoid is not working correctly anymore. I guarantee you that. But it's good enough. On the oscilloscope, it is currently already good enough. The idea that I can make it better is really tough. It would be indicative of dodgy caps, but they're not going to be electrolytics, is what I'm saying. They're at best, or worst, tantalums. And they're not going to be visually bad. We would have to pull them off and test them all one at a time. This is probably comparable. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this looks a lot like that other one. So we're probably looking at something over here on the left in this area. Maybe it's something over here. There is not a single electrolytic in sight other than like these 4 right here. And those are for power decoupling. Yeah, there is nothing that I'm going to be able to diagnose here. Matter of fact, those are all ceramic. I don't see a single tantalum in here. The silver circle, I mean these, yes, other than the ones that are screws. These, but those are on the power supply. They're all right next to LM power regulators. Every single one of those. And what we're looking at that's a problem can only be from here to here. Yeah, I will concede that a noisy power supply, if it's the decoupling caps are bad, actually could make sense. And that those are probably similar capacitors to those ones that fail in like the IBM floppy drives. Amigas aren't real, so that you know, sure, maybe there's problems. Ugh. Yours are visibly leaking. Dude, there's so many of them in there. If one's bad, they all gotta be replaced. Whatever value that is, I guarantee don't have that many. Like, look at them all over. Oh, that is weird. I've never seen one in that form factor. I kind of like it. With 30-day warranty? What are you, stupid? Dude, I love that it's an amber scope. Is that a printer on top? I love this thing. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, it's like a tiny little Mac, but it's a oscilloscope. Dude, I want it. Yeah, and just GPIB. You don't need anything else. GPIB and power. That's it. Oh my gosh, I want it so bad. Let's close the tab before I make a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, let's go make one. It's gonna suck. We only have 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Someone put all this heavy stuff on my workbench. Do video BNC cables have like a different diameter inner pin? Because it fits really tight on these. Tear down, it looks like we don't have to get too far into it. We can take off just the outer panel and then it should be visible. Oh, yes? They'll distort the opposing contact. Well, screw you, pins on the NTSC pattern generator, and do not mix max. It's 1579. Oh my gosh. Well, guess what I've been doing all day? How'd you not know that when I was plugging a video pattern generator into an oscilloscope? Should keep your 75 ohm terminators separate. I don't have any 75 ohm terminators. I only have 50s. You know what's worse? I have video cables in the office. Had I known that, I could have just used them. This thing's heavy. It can just stay there. All right, how? So first off, we gotta take off the handle, which we probably just rotate until it reaches the keyed position where it'll just like pop out, which I don't know where is. Maybe we don't remove that. Maybe we just remove the one screw right here and the whole thing like falls apart. I don't know. See, there's screws on the back. They're a weirdo bit because of course they are. Let's just take off the power cable, which is retained with a doohickey. The handle stays on. Annoying. All right. Bits. And Noel just launched a patio from the tree. Was asked if I have a gecko tree. Oh my gosh, land with a proper slap. Also, I want a gecko tree. It's even better than a squirrel tree. Yeah, it looks like theoretically, it's gonna have a bunch of the garbage electrolytics on it from the 90s that keep going bad. So it seems plausible that the power supply for the ADCs that run in the higher frequency range that would be more sensitive could be bad and would be making it sad. All right. While I'm working on this, did I kick something? I think the handle. Oh, I think my walking by the thing, the handle snapped down into position. Okay. And then this just, well, I probably would if I ripped the screw to pieces. Rawr, die screw. Okay. Now, there we go. All right. And then when the oscilloscope is ready for maturity, it hatches from the cocoon. Wait, there's no analog board. Oh, wait, there it is. Well, this one's way different than that other one. Way different. Like, way different. I don't see any electrolytics either. I think this is the board. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. That's it. Because the back plane, the cards are not. It's this is the we have Tektronix at home. This is completely, it's like it even has the slots for the cards, but then it's just like, nope, we just did that. That's all you need. Okay. Huh. Yeah, and I'm serious, there's not a single electrolytic on there. None. So this is, what's the power supply? Oh my gosh, the power supply is huge. This is also disgusting around here. But that's probably all just the high frequency stuff that collected dust. So, power supply full of electrolytics, of course. Can you zoom in on the ICs? In a little bit, I guess. Nothing in there looks particularly bad, but you can't really tell that kind of stuff visually unless it's super bad. Yeah, No profile cards. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, not only is this most likely the main board, this is the only PCB in this unit that has surface mount chips on it. So that is everything. Dude, I want to Ben Heck this thing into like a handheld scope because come on. Yeah, the power supply is the biggest PCB by far. I wonder if it provides like weird voltages or something. Yeah, so the big ribbon cable at the bottom goes to the front panel. The small one in the lower right goes to the rear panel. The white wires go to the power supply. Actually, this and this both go to the rear panel. I don't know what goes to video. Unless video comes off of the power supply. No, I don't see where video connects. That's weird. So there's that. Oh, no, this one's video. That one's video. So yeah, it'd be this for power. Dallas battery? Yeah, that's fun. Laptop scope. Poke with a finger while running? No, we're not doing that. So I will say this isn't as bad as I thought, but it is as repairable as I thought. It's possible that the power supply could be outputting wonky voltages still, and that would be a little easier to work on, but yeah. Well, BK, I mean, yeah, that doesn't really help us in fixing it though. We're definitely not getting away with a quick SMD electrolytic swap. Is long story short. Now I want to show you guys what the like inside of the TDS 465 looks like because holy moly, it's a nightmare. So theoretically, maybe we could recap the power supply, but that shield easily removable? What shield over these? No, you'd have to. Oh god, there are electrolytics under there. Why? I'm not calling it easily removable, but it can be removed without too much work because you have to bend these metal tabs. And then maybe it'll come off. If this doesn't do it, I'm done. Okay, there's electrolytics. Oh, because it's a 2-channel. But they look fine. Yeah, there's nothing else under there that's a problem. Also, those are kind of more like what I was thinking for pain in the butt stuff. This is the worst attachment method. All right. Dip modules reading about or the inputs. Yeah, that makes sense. What's eBay want? Ooh, package was delivered. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. All right. Yeah, let's just put it back. We're not tearing into the whole power supply, so not an easy repair. Then no, you didn't have that thing delivered. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you're talking about what I messaged you about after stream yesterday, no. This is something entirely different. This is something that gets a second channel video about that not a single person except Digital Ice Age could predict what is. No, that I pick up tomorrow morning before stream. Auction over free this message. eBay is really bad about that. I have definitely stopped relying on eBay's app notifications for things. They're worthless. Definitely a rice cooker. Yes. Yeah, for sure. I'm reviewing a rice cooker on the second channel. I could give you all kinds of hints about what this thing is, and no one could guess what it is. Just because no one knows. Like, it's just straight up, no one could guess what it is. The whole reason I'm going to make a second channel video is because no one knows about it. Now, I'm really excited to be able to talk about it. One of the bad, really bad about remembering things. We'll check 5 minutes ago to manage to forget and pick up the phone 4 minutes, 30 seconds later. Yeah, see, I have this rule. Like, maybe 5 minutes before the stream, I will just stop doing whatever and just stare at it. Like, just that's it. Arcade VR says, found a Facebook Marketplace. No. It's made of paper. It's a magazine. None of you could guess what magazine. Not a single person. And that's way more of a hint than I should even give you. But you'll never be able to guess what magazine or why it's special. Unfortunately, it's not the magazine I've been looking out for longer. There's a particular issue of the HP Journal that I really, really want before I make a video about something, but I'm just not gonna find it, it seems. No, I'm telling you, no one is gonna be able to guess what it is. Straight up, I'm not kidding. No one is gonna be able to guess. There are like 2 references to this magazine even existing on the internet, okay? One of them is by me, which even telling you that isn't enough to let you guess. And the other one is by the person who created it. And that's also not going to give you enough. HP Journal look like I'm arranging it. Oh, yeah. That one, I got a copy of that book was, yeah, definitely. Yep, for sure. Yeah. Mike, I think a couple more people have talked about PC Magazine than me and the person who created PC Magazine. Byte, I already own all of Byte. There's no more Byte to get. Unless I wanted the Byte cornucopia magazines or something stupid like that, but I already have all the real issues. Why would I need those? All right. Oh, did you hear that, Ben? Pacheco's stripping it for parts. He's going to sell it piece by piece like a chop shop. Interesting. Sampler provides 2 acquisition channels. Memory and heater circuit provide temperature stabilization. Indicates the scopes using something like CCD to sample the analog values slowly. Is random part, yeah. Yeah, there's really no point in guessing. No one is gonna know the magazine. I'm gonna make a video about it, and no one's gonna watch it because no one will know the significance of it. Sell the Reefa caps? How many you want? I save them all when I pull them out. All right. So I don't think I should take this home yet, at least, because it's apparently the one good scope. What do I do with this? Like, if I put it back up here, it's useless again, because it's too big, and the cable's plugged into the back sucks.
100R.app placement Reefa caps pre-exploded to save time. End of line.
Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Stream sometimes has a 1 second weird. I don't know. It seems like Twitch is maybe having some issues. That's all I can guess. Thankfully, we don't have too long left. Now, let me put my stuff away. This one, bad, so that one doesn't go back in the box. Terminators. I should apparently go order some 75 ohm terminators. Maybe. I'm missing one. Where's the other one? There it is. So, are the cables that are sold for video stuff just like 75 ohm cables? Is that what it is? Are these 50 ohm cables? These have no markings on them. Let me go look at the 75 ohm cables. Pretty sure they're out here. I think they say they're 75 ohms on them. Yeah, so these are far chunkier. And then they say on them in printing on the jacket, coax 75 ohm. So just for kicks, if I plug this in to one of the video jacks I apparently didn't abuse, oh, that fits so much better. Yeah, so apparently I should have been using these. That's annoying. Huh, yeah, that's way different. Well, rip 75 ohm connector, or 50 ohm, 75 ohm ones, yeah. You even had them already. Yeah, I straight up I said I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing. Dude, how many of these are broken? The funny thing is, I didn't buy these. They came with something else. Because I didn't know they were a thing. They came with some random weird computer. So weird. Oh, that's crankier than I realized. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I not notice that one of these is an OAD 30 and the other is an OAD 31? Huh. That doesn't make sense. Something's got to be broken. There we go. Was this computer? Nothing special. There, it wasn't working. Weird. Okay. Shall I get the storage detail? Would have expected you to notice. Yeah, no, it was bad. Don't worry. There we go. Anyway, yeah, this is nothing special. No one needs to ask any more questions about this. By the way, there's no power supply in this, so I actually have a 12-volt power supply and a Pico PSU. I couldn't turn this on if I wanted to. This is like a whole thing. But this is what the BNC cables came with. Back to hiding. That was a fun teaser. Is this plan to distract us from something else? So as to ensure we ask about nothing else for the next month. Oh, bolts would be way nicer than what that thing uses to hold itself together. Jeez. Imagine the dumbest possible way of retaining components together like that. It's dumber. All right. We're out of stream, by the way. Velcro would make more sense. Well, that didn't go the way I thought it would today. Kind of want a new scope, which really, like an actual new scope, not just like at a different scope. And realized that the TS320's not looking so hot, which kind of sucks because I had made some determinations with it, I think, and now I can't rely on that. Otoscope has SCSI on the back next to GPIB, so you can have external hard drives for data storage. All right. I put my custom 50 ohm Terminator away. That's the USB port. Wait, are you saying it's a modern thing that's got it? I don't know. I really wasn't expecting to want a new scope. I don't like that. I don't like new things being better than old things. I want old things be good. All right, I'm gonna connect to the server so we can run the outro. Got some thinking to do. All right, stream will be late tomorrow. Just fair warning before I run the outro. I don't really know how late. Maybe like an hour. Hopefully not 2 hours late. It's not getting extended in duration. It's just the start's getting moved up. But yeah, what late? Yeah, add 1 hour to 2 hours to the start time. Hopefully within that range. So if it's longer than that, I mean, I can't imagine it being longer than 2 hours. 1 hour would be a lot, but we'll see. But yeah. So all right. It is outro time. I don't want a new scope. I'm gonna apparently gonna have to get one. That's oh well. That's it for today. That didn't go the way I wanted, but oh well. If you enjoyed messing around with some old weird nonsense, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next for when I have to mess around with new weird nonsense. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt like this one. I actually don't know what shirt I'm even wearing. Is it the calculator one? No, it's the keyboard one. But that's it for now, and I'll see you all next time. I don't know if you can hear me, but I just realized that I accidentally left the other microphone in the dual microphone setup running the whole time in the background. So the audio was probably kind of weird today.